Hello everyone, welcome to Basically Nida. I'm Nida, and I'm going to review a TV show today called Discovery of Witches. So I was procrastinating on reading my books last week, and I decided to just watch some TV shows. And the second TV show that I watched last week was A Discovery of Witches. Yes, this is based on the books by Deborah Harkness. Harkness? I'm sorry. So, the series is called All Souls. It's a trilogy, and I just watched the TV shows, the 3 seasons of this TV show called The Discovery of Witches. So, here's the synopsis. A Discovery of Witches is about a scholar of alchemy, and she is working on her thesis at Oxford. Her name is Diana Bishop, and she's from America. She is from America, like the New Cambridge. But she's doing her thesis in Oxford, London. And she comes across this manuscript of alchemy, and she finds that it does something, and there's magical stuff happening and all that stuff. And then, so she returns the book. She gets freaked out. She returns the book, and then while she walks out, there are all these people following her, and she's wondering what's happening and all that stuff. Mind you, Diana she's kind of a bitch, but not a bitch. She's not practicing. Her parents died when she was little, and she grew up with her aunts in Cambridge, US, part of, I think it's New York, Cambridge. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. My US geography is not very good. So she is seeing all these people, different kinds of people, following her, and every time she goes to the library, the same kind of people are following her. There's one specific person who is a vampire, and his name is Matthew Claremont. He is a microbiologist, something like that, and he's the professor at Oxford for microbiology. Has his own little lab and all that stuff. He's a vampire. So he approaches her and asks about this manuscript that she pulled out, and that she just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have it. I give it back. So then she realizes that there's why everybody is trying to follow her, because nobody else can get to this manuscript. She's the only one who can touch it or ask for it or whatever. Nobody else can get it. All these witches, demons, and vampires are trying to get their hands on it. I think I said a lot about just the beginning of this story, and if I say any more, it's gonna ruin anybody who wants to see, like, ruin the effects of watching it. So I'm now just gonna go into what I liked about the TV show, why I was hooked on it, and what I didn't like about it. So there is this whole romantic line between Matthew and Diana. It's obviously there. We all know. It's just part of whatever vampire demon thing that comes out of these kind of storylines. So we're just following those two and how the story pans out. what I liked about this story is the fact that it's a historical fantasy, and we see all these different kind of historical buildings and events that happens. They do time travel. Should I say it? Should I not? If you've seen the trailers, you know there's time travel. I'm sorry. It was really kind of cool to go back and forth with those kind of things. I loved that part. I kind of liked learning about the magic system, and it was very cool. It's more of a hard magic. Like there's different kinds of elements. Each person has an element that they're good at, and it's like string magic kind of thing. And yeah, I liked, let's say, the part of the manuscript. I kind of like the storyline of the manuscript and how it became the manuscript. And yeah, the parts I didn't like. Oh, the soap opera of it. I just didn't like those parts. I'm sorry. So every time that it gets to the soap opera part, I'm just like, oh, come on. Stop being all dramatic, and like something randomly would happen between Diana and Matthew, and there's some dramatic exit, or someone's crying and that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, okay, fast forward, let's get to the actual plot. So yeah, those parts I didn't like. The vampires in this are not the usual vampires that we know of. Like, their fangs don't retract. So they just randomly growl and then they bite somebody. It's like, what? Like, the whole stereotypical of all of the like vampire stuff no longer exists. The only part that exists is that like they drink human blood and they growl and they're like moody, that kind of stuff. But it's just like, oh, they can walk in sunlight, and they can eat garlic, and they can eat what? Their bodies doesn't work. Like, they're not alive. How do they eat? Anyways, yeah, those parts were the parts that I was just like, this makes no sense. And I'm just gonna go with it just because I want to know what happened. Overall, it was okay. It was entertaining for a TV show. I don't think the book would be good for me. Just because the book is a fantasy romantasy, or whatever you call it. And I will probably be very bored. The TV show was filled with a lot of well-known actors, and the script is written very well. So the parts that are about, like, dramatic parts were, yes, I didn't like them, but it's done well by those actors, and it's written in a way that it would probably work for those people who like this part. So overall, it was a good TV show. It does have a very high rating on a lot of the platforms that I looked up. Like, IMDb has it as like 7.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes have it at like 83% or something like that. So it's not a bad TV show. It's just this, like, the storyline wasn't, those storylines weren't good for me. And no, I'm not gonna pick up the book. I got my entertainment out of this TV show, and that's about it for me. I'm just gonna move on to another story, probably pick up another book. And yeah. So let me know what you think about A Discovery of Witches. Have you watched the TV show, or did you just read the books, or have you read both? Like, have you watched the TV show and read the book? What do you think about them? And thank you for watching. If you like this video, please press the thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!